Right, today is Saturday, February 15th, 2025. We've been working on this firewall. It's 2 o'clock. Working on it for about 5 hours and we're nearing the end. What do you think?
Getting better. Learning new things.
Should have done a thicker gauge for a one piece. Do a thicker gauge so it doesn't warp as much. And the sandblaster, I don't want to say that he warped the dash, but he warped the dash. So we had to beat some dents out. Really not dents, more like low spots. And it's the last round of filler on that. This side, this half is done. Ready for more epoxy. This side's about an hour away from being done. Yep. Okay.
So now I do the top part.
Huh?
Bondo and the resin.
Oh, yeah. What I do is we mix the rage in some areas where you need a big spread and you get to working time. You mix the rage with fiberglass resin and then hardener, and then it makes it thinner, basically. Thins it out, and it's self-leveling. So on a big spread like this, it kind of finds its home. But we got a full-time mess in here. But the dash is going to be done here in a second. So we're going to finish up this bodywork and then probably get it in more epoxy, and then it would be ready for some high build or some poly. But I think high build will get it. Got a gallon of it. Bring you guys back. All right, so we finished up the filler work for the day, which I think for good on the dash and on the firewall. So it took quite a bit. It had like big low spots. So tapped some high spots down and a couple skims. A couple, yeah, you can see different stuff, but it looks like crap right now, but we're about to epoxy it. And then the dash, for some reason the dash was warped pretty bad. So that took a skim, more than a skim, but we were able to beat some of them out. And then, so we 80'd and then 180, and then we did 220 this time on an interface pad with a DA. So the scratches are pretty fine. So hopefully 2 coats of epoxy will kind of lock that down and look good at the same time. Because when we did the moonroof, or we did the firewall the first time, 180 scratches seemed a little bit too coarse. It didn't look as good. So we went 220 interface pad real gently after blocking, just real gently. And so we're gonna mix up 16 ounces and give everything 2 coats. And I think the dash and firewall will be done for filler work. We might have to use some glaze in some areas, which we have to buy, but the bulk of the filler work is done. Super excited, Bobby?
Probably needs a little bit of right on the roof, huh?
Yeah.
In this area, maybe?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about filler work from for the front. Yeah. So mixing up 16 ounces, mix this 1-to-1. You guys seen me do this I don't know how many times. 1-to-1, 8 ounces activator, 8 ounces epoxy. Stir it up, let it sit half an hour, 20 minutes. Start it up again, put it in the gun, spray it. Gonna be using the V-bore. The V-bore with a disposable cup. So we'll bring you guys back when we spray it.
See how much better that looks with the 220 versus the 80?
side of either way.
All right, so that was actually 4 coats of epoxy. We mixed about 4 ounces too much. That's okay. Firewall's looking, I would say it's about 85% there. Last weekend it was about 60% there. But I think this is good for now. We're gonna let the high build primers take over from here. The dash looks pretty good too. It's about 90%. So if you remember, we deleted the speaker or defrost.
Defrost.
Defrost. Still has some imperfections. The high build's gonna take over from here. But this thing, I mean, it's looking pretty good, man. In hindsight, for a one-piece firewall like this, I think we should have done like 10 gauge, and we wouldn't have warped at all. And we would only had the body work around the edge. But Sandblaster warped the dash, and possibly warped the firewall too. Did he blast the firewall?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He also deleted, what goes here?
The aluminum.
Oh, the aluminum trim. Filled 2 holes there, real little skim coat, and those are gone. So I think what we're gonna do is work our way back. So next up is gonna be the roof. Roof rails. I don't think the roof itself needs much, but the roof rails do need a little bit. Not so bad though. These little ripples and stuff are way easier than a big dip, like this firewall was.
Are we doing just the rails or the roof
The
too?
whole roof. We can do that whole roof in a day. Well, 3 people, you and me, maybe not, but 3 people in a day. Because the roof itself doesn't need much, I don't think. Of course, we won't tell until you put a block on it. But another day in the books, 10 hours total, 2 5-hour, a pair of 5 hours each, 10 hours, man. What you think?
It's good.
And this is black, man. The black is gonna show every ripple and wave. So I'm not really too much worried about it. We're gonna order some materials right now. That's it, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this week's little episode. Bring you guys back next weekend.